सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। This Kaivalya Upanishad has its own invocatory prayer. We will do the invocatory prayer, and from the next class we will be chanting that invocatory. We will be doing that invocatory prayer. It has its own invocation. Today we are studying this Kaivalya Upanishad. Just getting the book. Kaivalya Upanishad. One of this text called Kaivalya Upanishad is one of the minor Upanishads. When we say minor Upanishad, what it scholastically means is it is not part of the 10 Upanishads commented by the 3 Acharyas. That's all. Otherwise, there is no difference between a major Upanishad and a minor Upanishad. It is just a scholastic distinction that people give. Major means that 10 which is commented by the 3 Acharyas. That 10 we know that list. The names of the 10 we know already. Isa, Kena, Katha, all those, the Prashna, the Mandukya, the Mundaka, the Brihadaranyaka, Chandogya, all that is the 10 Upanishads. In the same category of the 10, 2 more Upanishads comes in. One is this Kaivalya Upanishad and another is the Shvetashvatara Upanishad. These 2 Upanishads also fall under the category of this 10 only. And then there are other Upanishads, which is the Mahanarayana Upanishad and all that, which is also part of the same system. But we categorize these 12 into the knowledge part completely because it straight away dismisses the Karma Kanda and starts with the Jnana Kanda. All other Upanishads talks about the Karma Kanda also, and then it will give an elaborate details about the Karma Kanda portion, and then it will touch the Jnana. Some Upanishads, these 12, what they do, they directly get into the Jnana Kanda portion. This is the difference. Vedas is divided into 2. Veda is divided into 2 parts. Both put together is the knowledge of Vedas. What are the 2 parts? The 2 parts. The first is called the Karma Kanda portion. The second is called Jnana Kanda. And technically, the Jnana Kanda portion is what we call as Veda Anta. So this Veda Anta equals Vedanta. Now, what you need to understand is when we say Veda Anta Jnana Kanda portion, it is not contradictory to Karma Kanda. It is not opposite of Karma Kanda. It includes that and it takes you above that also. You should always understand it in that sense. I have seen so many people talking about it as the Jnana Kanda is opposite of the Karma Kanda, as though both are fighting with each other and one is trying to prove the superiority over the other. It's not that. Karma Kanda talks about some aspects of life. The Jnana Kanda accepts that and then it helps you to transcend that also. Without Karma Kanda portion, Jnana Prapti will not happen. This is the Vedanta. This is the first step. Without preparing yourself, without purifying yourself through lot of karmas, actions, you will not be able to gain this knowledge. But sir, we are all gaining this knowledge. What we mean in Vedanta, gaining knowledge means digesting it, assimilating it. We all have heard so much, and yet there is no digestion, the assimilation, the digestion, the transformation. So Jnana Kanda, the Karma Kanda prepares you for the Jnana Kanda. So orthodox இப்போ உபனிஷத்துன்னு பேசுறதுனால கொஞ்சம் ஆர்த்தடாக்ஸா பேசணும் கொஞ்ச நேரத்துக்காவது. It is called, technically it is called Veda Purva and it is called Veda Anta. Technically it is called Veda Purva and it is called Veda Anta. Veda Purva, which is the Karma Kanda portion, talks about a purifying in the worldly actions is Karma Kanda. How to purify yourself first, that is Karma Kanda. Karma literally means actions. Karma means rituals, means actions. Now, ritual means religious activities. Karma means, ritual means religious activities. Now, what is that? The first one, the first stage in life is a good quality worldly life. First, you need to have it. Step number one towards evolution. Step number one towards Vedanta is you need a good quality life first. Only a person who has had a good quality life would be able to ask the deeper questions of life and transcend. So, Vedas takes you in a very systematic way. First it says, have a good quality life. How can you have a good quality life? You can have a good quality life when you are pursuing Artha and Kama guided by Dharma. When you are pursuing Artha and Kama guided by Dharma, you will have a good quality life. That good quality life is what symbolically, poetically, they call it as Swarga, heaven. They call it as Swarga, the heaven. Now, this good quality life would give you a maturity to understand the limitations of that. The good quality life would help you to understand the limitations of that, and once you have understood the limitations of that, you are prepared for the deeper questions of life, the deeper pursuits of life. Now, what is the deeper pursuit of life? The deeper pursuit of life is what is beyond this Dharma, Artha, Kama is the deeper pursuit of life. So, what Upanishads does, where Upanishads come, Upanishads is addressed to that qualified person who has done lot of Karma Yoga and attained a purification. To that person, we can talk about the futility of all that. Yeah. Honestly speaking, I really wanted to do thesis on God again. I thought I will start thesis of God. Now, thesis on God no sonna ellarkum heart attack vandru. Nobody will even want to come and sit in front. And I took this Upanishad because genuinely I thought it is better to start better to do the book thesis on God Again, a preparation. A preparation is required. So, Karma Kanda prepares you for that. When you are sufficiently prepared, you can come to the Upanishads. Why that sufficient preparation is because, first thing, the style of the Upanishad. The style of the Upanishad is, it is simple statements of facts. No, you will not find any logic, you will not find any reasoning given, you will not find any logic given, no analysis will be done. Logic, reason, analysis, and all that belongs to the other textbook, not for Upanishads. Why? Because it is understood that you have done all that, and you have crossed sufficiently so that you would be able to follow this. Yeah. Simple statements of facts. Since these simple statements of facts are so difficult to comprehend, what the great rishis did, they developed Tarka, Mimamsa, Nyaya, Vyakarna, and all that, so that you can rightly understand the meaning of the Upanishadic statements. So much of system they developed so that these Upanishadic statements can be rightly understood. Otherwise, everybody will come and say, this is what the Upanishad says, this is what the Upanishad says, this is what the Upanishad says. Now, how are you to understand what is it that the Upanishad is saying? So what they did, they developed a system of Tarka, Mimamsa, Nyaya, or whatever that system is, they developed all that. So each and every akshara of the Upanishad is understood through that system. Each and every akshara, each and every word here. Therefore, you will never find like what you see in the Bhagavad Gita, Tasmat in Bhagavad Gita lavara madri Upanishadla, you will not even get one Tasmat in the Upanishad. Why? Statements are, it is a simple, straightforward statements, and those statements are wonderful. And those statements are meaningful, extremely wonderful. Now, in the first stage of life, I said, unless you have a good quality life, you can never come to Jnanakanda. Mundakopanishad makes an extraordinary statement. These are the basic formulas. Mundakopanishad gives an extraordinary statement. The extraordinary statement the Mundakopanishad makes is Parikshya Lokan Karmachitan Brahmano, it says. Parikshya Lokan Karmachitan Brahmano, and then he says Samitpani Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. Parikshya Lokan Karmachitan Brahmano. Parikshya Lokan. Parikshya Loka means having examined the world rightly by oneself. Parikshya Lokan Karmachitan Brahmano. The Brahmana means the wise one, the seeker has examined the world rightly, already by himself. Already having examined the world rightly by oneself, he comes to this conclusion that something beyond this has to be pursued. And that person, what he does after doing this Pariksha Lokan Karmachitan Brahmano, it's the same mantra. Pariksha Lokan Karmachitan Brahmano, that student, Samitpani, carrying the faggot stick, goes in search of the Guru, who is Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. Goes in search of the student, that student goes in search of the Guru, who is Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. The preparatory stages is what Kathopanishad also talks about. The Kathopanishad uses the different words, Shreyaha and Preyaha. In the first chapter, he talks about two words. Throughout we have referred any orthodox person who, not any orthodox person, anybody who talks on these Upanishads and all that will refer these standard verses. Why these standard verses? Because these verses gives the formula very clearly. Pariksha lokan karmachitan brahmano. He has examined the world full of actions and found the limitations. Is Pariksha lokan karmachitan brahmano. Karmachitan. He has understood the world which is full of actions, and having examined it means what? He had pursued it. And how did he pursue it? He pursued it with dedication, sincerity, and all that. Got the results also. Having pursued it with dedication, shraddha, and with utsaha and all that, gotten the results also, and then found that it is. It has not taken him anywhere. Adadam pariksha lokan karmachitan brahmano. Having done all this, he has found out that it has not taken him anywhere. This is the preparation. This is the preparation that is required, that the Veda Purva Bharga, Veda Purva portion, what we call as the Karmakanda portion, prepares you. Please understand, Karmakanda means not just the rituals. It is not only the rituals. Karma means actions. Actions that helps you to pursue the Artha and Kama guided by Dharma. The boundary is Dharma. You get the results and understood that it is limited. In the limited, whoever has understood that it is limited, to that person, a conversation will happen with that person. That conversation happening with that person is called an Upanishad. The conversation that happens with that seeker is called a Upanishad. And if you go into the text and if you read the mantras, the way in which the build-up is given, you see the mantras, the way in which the build-up is given, and you read the mantras, it's totally unconnected. Bhaja Govindam will appear better. Bhagavad Gita will appear, because there is a logic, there is a reason, there is a system and all that. Here it is the pearls are just given. That's it. It is just there. That's all. Whoever knows that it is the pearl alone can take it. Whoever knows it. So the first thing is this: the Karma Kanda and the Jnana Kanda. The Jnana Kanda is not opposite of Karma Kanda. Jnana Kanda is not in conflict with Karma Kanda. The Jnana Kanda portion is a natural evolution from Karma Kanda. So if you don't understand it like this, we will have a problem of dealing with when you see the Upanishads ridiculing the Karma Kanda portion. Please understand, we should not ridicule. Yeah. When they ridicule it, we should not ridicule. Why? Because when they ridicule it, the adhikari there is completely different. It is ridiculed to a different adhikari, not to any one of us. Therefore, what do we do? To get a taste of what it is to hear just statements. What it is to hear just statements. Yeah. இது வந்து அந்த வேத சாண்டிங்க கேட்கிற மாதிரி கேட்டுருங்க, அவ்வளவுதான். When you sit and listen to the Vedic chanting, after a point you really don't know. After a point you really don't know what they are saying, chanting, anything. But still, it has an effect. அந்த மாதிரி இதை கேட்டுருங்க. Don't take it very. They say don't take it very seriously. No, take it very seriously. But when they ridicule something, please understand that it is ridiculed to that qualified adhikari. It is not to us. Why it is not to us? Because we are not yet fully convinced about the jnana path. We are still having a lot of doubts about karma itself. We are still having a lot of doubts about karma itself, action itself. Karma, when we say action, means karma yoga. Please understand, Upanishad level vandachina karma na karma yoga nu purinjukonu. We will not say selfish action versus unselfish action. The distinction la inga varadu. Karma na it is karma yoga. Why? Because that person has matured from pursuing desires in any way to pursuing desires in a dharmic way. Okay, to put it in a sequence, stage number, the lowest grade is fulfillment of desires is the end. The means doesn't matter at all. Whatever be the means, don't worry, fulfill the desire. That is how the vast majority lives. Don't worry about the means at all, fulfill the desires at any cost. This person is called a Nastika. He has no principles to follow. He has nothing to guide the pursuit of the desires. Seriya? From this, the person evolves to pursuing the desires, but the pursuit is guided. That pursuit is guided by some factors. That guiding factor is what we call as dharma. That guiding factor is what is called as dharma. Now, even the person who is following likes and dislikes with some dharma is qualified to do Shravana on an Upanishad. In that way, we are all qualified. Are able to follow? The person who is pursuing desires, fulfillment of desires, but having some boundaries, having some dharma, is qualified to do Shravana on the Upanishads. He is qualified to do Shravana. Seed madri. When you do Shravana, seed is sown in you. That is why it is still spoken to everybody. Why it is still spoken to everybody? Because the seed is sown. At some point of time, it will turn into a tree. The enni tree marumo, we don't know, but we keep sowing these great masters. They keep sowing the seeds. A person following desires within the boundaries, what is the consequence of that life? The consequence of that life is there is a relative peace, there is a relative contentment. There is a relative peace, there is a relative contentment. That itself brings about a complacency. That relative peace, the relative contentment itself brings about a complacency wherein the intellect doesn't probe further. Where the intellect doesn't probe further. To wake that intellect up to probe further, what the Upanishads do? It ridicules all that the fellow has been doing till now. it will ridicule that, make fun out of it, and it will say it is a ihacheta vedi atasatyamasti acheti havedi mahati vinashti Upanishad. It will ridicule all that and it will say you have wasted your entire life. You will get very angry, you will get very upset and say, how can you say that? I am following the dharmic way of life. No. How can you say that it is a waste? It is a dharmic way of life. The Upanishad says, so what? So what if you have lived a dharmic life? What have you achieved by this dharma? You acquire wealth in a dharmic way, you can't carry that wealth with you. When you acquire wealth in a dharmic way, you cannot carry the wealth with you. Parashalam Urunga Padichi pass panni, Kapila Adigama. I understood it rightly. I passed the exam. So what? That knowledge also will not. That knowledge also will not come with you. Okay, you may gain that knowledge. Somebody will go faster than you and make your knowledge very redundant. Yeah, isn't it? By the time you can acquire a mastery in something, 100 fellows have gone. 100 fellows have gone so deep that what you thought is an extraordinary thing has become so. Third day it has become redundant. Yeah. Last week, something, when we were in the 12th class, when we moved into the 12th class, the computer science and syllabus came into the system. 84, 85 la dhaan vanduchu. So and we are the second batch of I also did maths, physics, chemistry, computer science 12th class la. Computer science la appo vandu rendu language irukum. Actually 3 language irundhuchu appo. Computer language, 3 languages. School le oru computer dhaan irukum, adu velaye seiyadhu. It will look more like a typewriter only. It won't look like a computer. It will look more like a typewriter. And adula final year idu vera. Adula final year practical exams. Computer 2 வருஷம் நான் தொடாமையே practical exams எல்லாம் பாஸ் பண்ணி 50 out of 50 வேற அதுல. Not once I went and sat in front of that system. இல்லையா? அன்னில இருந்து இன்னி வரைக்கும் இந்த கம்ப்யூட்டர் முன்னாடி இருந்தாலே ஒரு அலர்ஜி தான். So we studied language called, I don't know, some of you may remember, basic no language, Fortran or language. Yeah, basic adu inna today last week Python enamo irundhu, something called Python. Adu innadu Python? Basic no language படிச்சோம். அப்படின்னா it doesn't even and this didn't happen over 500 years, sir. This happened only over 30 years. So much of effort you make and gain a knowledge, and that knowledge becomes limited, redundant. So the wealth you gain is limited, redundant. The knowledge that you have gained is limited, redundant. அப்படின்னா lot of good karmas எல்லாம் பண்ணி நிறைய புண்ணியம் gather பண்ணா you will go to Swargaloka. That will also diminish and that will also become redundant. Therefore, Pariksha Lokan Karmachitan. This is Pariksha Lokan Karmachitan. Are you able to follow? Howsoever sincere, dedicated, hardworking and dharmic and all that, you get a result. That result is limited and turns into zero very soon. Okay, limited or the permanent or it is still worth it. No, it's not only limited and turns into zero very soon, and you have to start all over again. This Pariksha Lokan Karmachitan enna artham? Idellam purinjundu punarjanma, again again another Janma. Punarjanma. Again another womb. Yeah, again another womb, again like what Swamiji says, again crawling, walking, talking, school, college, university, job, marriage, children, worry, anxiety, stress, die. Again, because of the punya karma you have done, go to Swarga for a while, exhaust that also, and then again another womb, crawling, walking, talking. Parikshya lokan karmachitan brahmano. This person has examined everything. He is not frustrated with it. Please understand the difference. And Upanishad seeker is not a frustrated person. He has understood the limitations of it. As a result of understanding the limitation, he leaves it and seeks something higher. That leaving, that is why the Upanishad seekers are so wonderful, because they are not agitated, frustrated people. They didn't come to religion as because of a problem. Arjuna got into Bhagavad Gita because of the problem. The Upanishad seeker didn't get into the discussion because of a problem. Adukada இந்த formula ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோங்க. பரீட்சை லோகான் கர்மச்சிதான் பிராமணோ. பிராமணன்ற வேர்டு கொஞ்சம் கஷ்டமா இருந்தா பரீட்சை லோகான் கர்மச்சிதான் ரெண்டு வச்சுனா கூட போதும். He has done a lot of having examined the world completely, having examined the world of actions completely, what it can give, what it can give, what it can give, what it can give. அதுக்குதான் some karma kanda inquiry, some karma kanda inquiry has to be done for that. Now, what is it that they give? It has all the karma kanda portions has a dosha in it, which is what in the Bhagavad Gita also he says, all actions have dosha, Arjuna. What are you talking? All actions nale, it is dosham. And beautifully in the fifth chapter, verse number 19, fifth chapter, he says, nirdosham hi Brahma. Brahman, this jnanam alone is without dosham. What is that dosham? What is the dosham of karma kanda? இதெல்லாம் கொஞ்சம் இதெல்லாம் தான் ஒரு ஆர்த்தடாக்ஸ் வே ஆஃப் டீச்சிங் த உபனிஷத் படிக்கும்போது அந்த ஸ்டைல்ல தான் கொஞ்ச நேரத்துக்கு ஒரு 2-3 classes அந்த ஸ்டைல்ல படிச்சுட்டு அப்புறமா we will go back to our normal. What is that 3? That purushartha of life, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. This dharma, artha, kama, moksha, purushartha, dharma, artha, kama has dosha in it. Moksha has no dosha. Dosham na inna defect. Dosham na defect, limitations. அதனால்தான் தோஷ நிவர்த்தி. தோஷம் இருக்கு, அந்த தோஷத்தை நிவர்த்தி பண்ணது. தோஷ means a defect, a limitation. Now, what is it? The 3 defects of karma is this. The first defect is karmatrayam. Trayam na 3. மூணா they have எல்லாத்தையுமே இல்லையா மூணா they segregate body, mind, intellect, சத்வா, ரஜஸ், தமஸ்ன்ற மாதிரி இங்கேயும் திரயம் தான் 3. அந்த 3ல உங்களுக்கு என்ன அப்படி ஒரு அஃபெக்ஷனோ தெரியல, எல்லாமே திரயம் தான் 3 3 3 3 3. So this karma kanda portion has these 3. What is the 3? First one is called karma trayam, second one is called phala trayam, the third one is called dosha trayam. So trayam garadu common, அதனால அதை விட்டுருங்க. trayam garadu தேவையில்லை. karma, phala, dosha மூணா வருது. karma, what is that karma trayam? Manasam, Vachikam, Kayakam. That's karma. All karmas of a human being is done through these 3 only. Manasam karma, Vachikam karma, and Kayakam karma. Actions done through the body, actions done through the speech, actions done through the mind, the thought. So karma trayam means இதெல்லாம் பேசிக் ஃபார்முலாஸ் எல்லாம் இனிமேல்லாம் டவுட்டே வரக்கூடாதுன்னா மனப்பாடம் பை ஹார்ட் பண்ணி வச்சுடணும். இதெல்லாம் 2 2s are 4, 2 3s are 2 3s are 6, 2 4s are 8ன்னு மனப்பாடம் பண்ணி வச்ச மாதிரி இதெல்லாம் you have to by heart and keep. One is karma. Second is phala. Phala means the result, the fruit. The very word phala itself, you should know the meaning of the very word phala. The very word phala means that which is constantly disintegrating is phala. That which is constantly disintegrating is called as phalam, fruit. It means the literal fruit also. Vecha adu baatla konjam konjama it keeps slowly it is deteriorating. So second is karma phalam. What is that phalam? That dosham. What is that? The 3 defects. First one romba common, atrupti. Atrupti is the first dosha. Trupti inradhu when is enough, enough. Adan atrupti atrupti. Second is it's a mishram, mixture of sukha and dukkha. Mixture of sukha and dukkha. Third one is it creates bandham, bondage. So one is karmam, another is karma, one is karmatrayam, second one is palatrayam. What is the palatrayam means? First one is atrupti. Atrupti. Atrupti na when is enough? Enough. Enough is never enough. Clear? Trupti. Clear? That trupti. And trupti doesn't come through fulfillment of artha and kama. That is why one day Sita called Hanuman and said, "We have, you have helped us a lot. Today I will cook for you and feed you. I will cook for you and feed you." Hanuman said, "Okay." So Sita cooked, and they started serving Hanuman. Eating and eating and eating and eating, everything is getting empty, and Hanuman is still eating. She didn't know what to do. So she called Lakshmana and said, "How to deal with this man's hunger now?" ஏதோ ஒரு நல்ல எண்ணத்துல வாங்கோ தோசை கொடுக்குறேன் அப்படின்னா 15, 20, 25, 40, 50 dosas, and that fellow is not stopping. Lakshmana said, "Oh my God, why did you even call that man?" The only way to make him tripti is this. So what he did, he took a tulsi leaf and wrote Rama on that and gave it to him. He took a tulsi leaf, wrote Rama and gave it to him. He took that as the prasad. He said, Tada triptosmi, he said. I am a tripta now. Very, very simple. Very, very simple story. And atriptinrathu palatrayam and what is the defect of the fruit? What is the defect of the fruit? It gives atripti. It gives atripti. Even if a person says, I am contented nakalla, it is not really contentmental. For you can never become contented like that. You can never become contented like that. It's very difficult to be. So, atripti. The second thing is mishratvam. Mishra means mixed. What is the mixture? The mixture of sukha and dukkha. Less of sukha and more of dukkha. So, when Shankaracharya writes commentary on the other Upanishads, he says, though it is Mishram, he calls it as Dukkha Mishratvam. He doesn't call it as Sukha Dukkha. Ena proportion edu jaasti irukko adu matti sonna porundrathu his stance. Illaya? Appo வந்து Dukkha Mishramங்கிற வார்த்தை யூஸ் பண்ண வேண்டாம். Dukkatvam சொன்னாலே போறோம். Because Mishram na mixed. But then he says Dukkha Mishratvam. Dukkam na why he brings in Dukkha? Because proportionate edu jaasti irukku. More of dukkha, more of pain and sorrow, and less of sukha. The third one is bandhaka. The third one is bandham. It creates bondage. Karma pati சொல்லியாச்சு. பலா பத்தி சொல்லியாச்சு. And then the dosha per se. What is that dosha? Ajnanam is the fundamental dosha. That Ajnanam is the fundamental dosha. Actions, carefully follow. Karma kanda, actions, whatsoever actions you do, the ultimate result is this only. Even the action done for, even an unselfish action done with the interest of benefiting the world also ends up with this only. Parikshya lokan karmachitan brahmano. This person has understood it. He has examined this. Now I used to wonder what activities was happening in the Upanishadic ages for them to even see, at least in the Kalatriyada, there is so much of activities that is happening. Lot of probabilities are there for us to even get all that. Now in the Upanishadic days, what was the activity that is happening? Literally very, very clear. See, it's a 24/7, 3 weeks, 2 weeks lockdown law illa. Birth to death lockdown life dana. Birth to death only lockdown life, but still, what did they, I don't know what pariksha they did. Pariksha lokan karmachitan brahmana. We don't know what pariksha they did, and they came to this conclusion. That pariksha is done through the buddhi. The pariksha, the examining the life is done through the buddhi, the intellect, and then they understood that it is found wanting, limited. Having found wanting, limited, that person is matured for Upanishad. That person is matured for the Upanishad. Now, we are not Upanishadic seekers here, but we are qualified to do Shravana on an Upanishad. We have qualifications to do Shravana about an Upanishad. We have the qualification to do Shravana. We are not talking about Upanishadic seekers, but we have qualification to do Shravanam na namake or samadhana solindu. Yeah, we satisfy, we give a self-declared qualification to ourselves, and we study the Upanishad. In the 7th chapter, he says, Manushyanam sahasreshu. Rare one strives for moksha. Of those who come in contact with the knowledge and of those who come in contact with the Vedas, the knowledge and all that, this he says in chapter 7. Chapter 7, if I'm correct, verse number 3. If I'm correct, verse number 3 of chapter 7. He says, Manushyanam sahasreshu. Rare one strives for moksha. That rare one is the Upanishadic student. That rare one who strives for moksha, he says in the Gita, that rare one is the Upanishadic student, and there is a conversation and there is a discussion with that student. And that conversation is called as an Upanishad. Is the background of the Upanishad. This is the standard background for all Upanishads. Not only Kaivalya Kanela. This is the standard thing. So to summarize, stage number 1 is a disciplined life to make life better. Stage number 1. Stage number 2 is expose the limitations of that better life. Expose the limitations of the better life. When an illiterate person who doesn't know education at all says education is useless versus the person who has done PhD and then says this education is useless, there is a difference, no? Because he has done some work in that field, he knows what it is, and then he says it is limited. That is Pariksha Lokan Karmachita. So first is get it. As you are getting it, the Dharma says, the Dharma every now and then will keep educating us on the limitations of it also. Having understood the limitations of it, what happens to the Upanishadic seeker? Samitpani, Shrotriyam, Brahmanishtam. Samitpani means carrying the faggot, sticks. He reaches, he goes in search of a guru who is Shrotriyam, Brahmanishtam. The Upanishadic gurus are like that. They are Shrotriya. Shrotriya means well heard. Heard a lot. Heard a lot na studied a lot na. Heard a lot na studied a lot. Not only they have studied a lot, they are Brahmanishtam also. Nishta na established. Brahmanishtam, those who are established. Now, what does the Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam means? Not only they have experienced Brahman, they also know how to guide and teach a person. Because some of them are Brahmanishtas, but they will not know how to. They will not know the methodology of communicating and teaching. Here is an extraordinary combination. What is the combination? Brahmanishtam as well as a Shrotriyam. This is the Upanishadic Guru. Who is an Upanishadic Guru? He is well read. Well read na enna artham? He has studied the various aspects of knowledge and he knows how to clear the doubts of the seeker. That's what Shrotriyam means. He knows how to clear the doubts of the seeker through logic, reason, analysis. He has enough patience. That's what Shrotriyam means. All this put together is what Shrotriyam means. Brahmanishtam means it is not a theoretical knowledge for him. It is his direct experience too. It is his direct experience too, and still he is able to teach. This is the Upanishadic Guru. Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. The best example of the Upanishadic Guru na Krishna da. Yeah. Krishna is a very good example of Upanishadic Guru, because he has to come down to the level of Arjuna and pick him up. Yamako, Ashtavakrako and the Prachana illa, because the student themselves have come up to a level. Here, the student is at a very, very clear. Okay. What is Arjuna? A depressed student. Student in depression. Yeah. Like most of us we can keep. Yeah. Students in depression. Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Adanga. He is in depression. He is in shoka. He has not examined the world as yet. Pariksha Lokan Karmachitanla Arjuna has not yet done. He has come nowhere near that. A person who has done all that and evolved. So, what is the best example of the Upanishadic teacher? Not Ashtavakra, not anybody. Krishna. Why? Because Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam Krishna. He comes down and lifts him up. That is why he is called Jagat Guru. Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. He is a Jagat Guru. Yeah. Extraordinary is that teacher. Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. This is the brief background in relation to Upanishad, which you can take it as standard to any Upanishad. Any Upanishad you discuss, this will be the standard way of talking about it. Seriya? Now comes this specific Upanishad. Now comes the specific Upanishad. Okay, before I go into the specific Upanishad, I will repeat the three again. The Karmatrayam, Palatrayam and Doshatrayam. Karma na Manasam, Vachikam, Kayakam. That's Karmatrayam. What is the Palam? The Palam is, carefully follow. There, I just, why I'm repeating it again is I just mixed it up a little bit there. I didn't really distinguish it exactly. Now, I want to distinguish that exactly. What is the Palam? The Palam is Artha, Kama and Dharma is the Palatrayam. Because as a result of the action, you get Artha. As a result of the action, you get Kama. Cyclical Vasana produces thought. Vasana produces action and action produces Vasanas. The third one is Dharma. Dharma as in the Adrishta. This Artha and Kama is Drishtapalam. Dharma, the Papa Punya is the Adrishtapalam. So Palatrayam la edu varum? Dharma, Artha, Kama vandrum. I didn't talk about it because I assumed it as implied. Now I want to explain that also clearly. Then comes the dosha. What is the dosha? And the dosham karadu correct I said. Atrupti. Dosha is atrupti. Dosha is mishram. Dosha is bandham. So karma na manasam vachikam kayakam. Phalam na artha kama dharma. Dosham na atrupti, mishram, bandham. இவ்வளவுதான். இத ஃபார்முலா மாதிரி ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோங்க. If you remember these three sets as the formula, இதுக்கு இந்த மூணுத்தையும் மனப்பாடம் பண்ணி வச்சுக்கிற மாதிரி ஒரு ஸ்லோகமே இருக்கு. Because in those days, everything was taught through the form of the shlokas, no, so that you can memorize. Shloka means easy to memorize. That's why everything is in the form of shloka. Now I am not getting into the shlokas, the references and the details. I am not getting into. I am not getting too much into those details. But nevertheless, these three is important. Why these three is important? Parikshilokan, Karmachitan, Purinamna, these three is important. What is the three? Karmatrayam, Palatrayam, Doshatrayam. What is Karmatrayam? Manasam, Vachikam, Kayakam. What is Palatrayam? Dharma, Artha, Kama. What is Dosha? Atrupti, Mishram, Bandham. இல்லையா? இதெல்லாம் மறக்கவே கூடாது. இது மறந்தாச்சுன்னா திருப்பி கிண்டர் கார்டன் செக்ஷன்லயே தான் பேசினு இருக்கணும். Supposing if we forget any of this அப்படின்னா அடுத்த கிளாஸ்ல ஒண்ணுமே புரியாது. So what we have to do? திருப்பி all the classes will be doing only the kindergarten portion again and again. இல்லையா? அதுதான் கொஞ்சம் மனனா பண்ணி இதெல்லாம் you should மனனம் பண்ணி you have to remember all this. So Parikshilokan, Karmachitan, they have examined the world of actions and found wanted. So now you should quickly in a flash you should be able to remember these three. You should be able to remember. Yeah, இப்போ வந்து remembrance-ன்றதே இப்போ remembrance-ன்றதே very ஒண்ணுமே இல்ல. கதெல்லாம் ஞாபகம் இருக்கு. Yeah, non-essential details எல்லாம் ஞாபகம் இருக்கு. Trayamna we forget. Are you okay till now? These three. இது எல்லாத்துக்கும் ஃபண்டமெண்டல் ரூட் என்ன? Fundamental root என்ன? You go to Upanishad. Fundamental root it says the fundamental root. What in the 15th chapter he calls as the primary root and the secondary root. In the Trayam nu pesradella secondary roots. Secondary roots. What is the primary root? In the 15th chapter he says there is a primary root and then there is the secondary root. What is that primary root? Upanishad deals with the primary root. Upanishads deals with the primary root. What is that primary root? Ajnanam is that primary root. Ajnanamங்கிறது எங்க வரும்னா உபனிஷத் வந்ததுக்கு அப்புறம் தான் அஜ்ஞானம்ங்கற distinction வரும். So straight away in English what do we do? Ignorance is the cause for all the problems na and the level lende we start. That's why we never compromise on the truths. என்ன the Sanskrit words எல்லாம் யூஸ் பண்றது கிடையாது, இந்த ஸ்லோகம் எல்லாம் சொல்றது கிடையாது, அவ்வளவுதான். The Sanskrit words எல்லாம் யூஸ் பண்றது இல்ல, ஸ்லோகம் எல்லாம் சொல்றது இல்ல. But then the concept is not missed because the fundamental root is ignorance is the fundamental root. Clear? தமிழ்ல ஒரு மூவில அதை செய்யணும். இதுதான் நான் சொன்ன தாய் பொய். அந்த தாய் பொய் போட்ட குட்டி பொய் தான் இதெல்லாம். One is the fundamental primary. அதுலேந்து வந்ததுதான் thousands and thousands and thousands of all these. Now இதெல்லாம் and அதுதான் beautifully he describes it in the 15th chapter. It spreads all over and claws. It spreads all over and claws. Tight. It is holding it very tightly. The primary root and the secondary root. Secondary roots எல்லாம் ஓரளவுக்கு ப்ராப்பரா டீல் பண்றது வேதபூர்வ கர்மகாண்டா. That's why it talks about actions there. All types of actions it talks about. All types of action na adu enna sarnu kekudadu thiruppi illaya. You should know that. What are the types of action? What are the types of action through manasam vasikam kayakam karma? What are the types of actions that you are doing? Nitya karma, naimittika karma, kamya karma, nishiddha karma, prayaschitta karma. Idallam the actions. Through manasam vachikam kayakam, you do very many type of actions. What are the types of actions? Adu enna sir, you should not ask. You should remember this also. So evlo da sir nyabam vechikiradhu. How much you can remember? See, you know, for all practical purposes, it will not come more than one word, one A4 paper. The formulas எல்லாம் compress பண்ணா ஒரு A4 paper மேல கிடையவே கிடையாது. But so much, thousands and thousands and volumes of literature, because lot of samshaya comes, lot of doubts come. அதை clear பண்றதுக்கு தான் அவ்வளவு voluminous. Voluminous literature is not to say anything new. The voluminous literature is to clear the samshayas that comes out of it. So manasam vachikam kayakam karman சொல்லியாச்சு. What is the karma? என்னெல்லாம் கர்மா நடக்கிறது? What are all the type of action that comes out of manasam vachikam kayakam? Kamya karma. Kamya karma na desired actions. Then comes nitya karma. Then comes naimittika karma. Then comes nishiddha karma. Then comes prayaschitta karma. அதுவும் ஒரு கர்மா தானே. So all these 5. So pariksha lokan karma chidan brahmanona, what you should understand? Idallam he has studied about it. He has done it very sincerely, dedicatedly, with Shraddha Voda. He did all that, got the results also, and then understood it as limited. Sir, இதை டைரக்டாவே புரிஞ்சுக்க முடியாதா? Yes, if you have that penetrating capacity, if the buddhi is sharp, கற்பூர புத்தி இருந்து ஷார்ப்பா இருந்தா டைரக்டா புரிஞ்சுட்டு we can go. But the vast majority has to necessarily go through stages only. Therefore, what Vedanta does, it takes the karma kanda portion as an essential stage, and then it talks about something higher than that also. How the entire knowledge is developed systematically. That's why we call it as the knowledge of life and living. When we say it is the knowledge of life and living, not in the sense of morals and ethics, not in that sense. From kamya karma, it prepares you to do nitya naimittika karma. Nitya naimittika karma பண்ணும்போது சிலதெல்லாம் we do it. நித்திய நைமித்திகா பண்ணும்போது சிலதெல்லாம் தப்பா பண்ணிடுவோம். அதுக்கு பிராயஷ்சித்தம் இல்லையா? அதுக்கு you have to do an atonement. No, when you do a wrong action, you need to own up responsibility. When you do nitya naimittika karma, you are bound to make mistakes. Now prayaschitta karma means owning up responsibility for that mistakes. அவ்வளவுதான். Not in the way that prayaschitta karma கோயில்ல போய் 9 சுத்திட்டு வந்தா பிராயஷ்சித்தமான்றது கிடையாது. It is also a prayaschitta because you have owned up responsibility, and you are trying to undo that. So அவன் நித்திய நைமித்திகா பண்றான், காமிய கர்மா பண்றது கிடையாது. நிஷித்த கர்மா கிட்ட போறதே கிடையாது. காமிய கர்மா விட்டு எப்படியாவது வெளில வரணும்னு பாக்குறான். He does lot of nitya and naimittika karma, When he does Nitya Naimitya karma, he is bound to make mistakes, and that mistakes you have to own up. You have to own up responsibility for those mistakes and undo that. A person having done all this, he has understood what? What is the end result? What is the end result? What is that end result? Onnu illa. Pujya, zero it is. Why? Punarjanma starting again and Punarjanma starting again and again and again. What is the big deal in that? Punarjanma starting again and again and again. So what that person does, he leaves that and takes a giant leap into the Jnana portion. And Upanishad purely deals with the Jnanam portion. Now, Kaivalya Upanishad nu solittu Kaivalya Upanishad kitte varala innum. Adu adutha class la dhaan varaporen. Today I want to discuss the backdrop of the Upanishad. Enna Upanishad nude backdrop ivlo elaborate ah pesuradhukku chance e kedaikiradilla. Never get a chance to discuss the development of thought and the glory of the Upanishads. So first I thought, Upanishad padigromna, we need to understand the glory of the text. Bhagavad Gita padikumbodhu Dhyana shlokathula glory of the Bhagavad Gita is said very clearly there. Gita Dhyana. Partho vatsa sudhir bhokta dugdam Gita amritam mahat. It says that. Yeah. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum lankayate girim. It talks about the glory of the text. Upanishad aladala unnume kediyadu. Badram karne vishruniyama devahan, it starts. Atashwala, Bhagavantam Varavesham Vacha. No introduction, no preparation, no praising, no welcoming. Onnum kediyadu. Yeah. Yeah. இது வந்து இல்லையா சோ ராமசாமி மீட்டிங் மாதிரி straight away he will get into the subject only. Vango, all those who are all sitting on the stages, welcome, thank you for giving me this opportunity. He doesn't waste time or words in all that. Yeah. Thomas used to give this example of this man, Right Honorable Srinivasa Shastri, how he introduces, how he starts his discourses. Now he starts. Swamiji says, I copy his style, he says. Today the subject matter is avladha. Why glory and all that. Now Bhagavad Gita Gita Dhyanam solli we give the glory. Now I thought instead of straight away getting into the Upanishad like that, modalla Upanishad glory patti we will understand the glory of the Upanishads in general first. First understand the glory of that text Upanishad in general, and then we will go into the specific text. The specific text that I chose is Kaivalya Upanishad. Why Kaivalya Upanishad? The Jnanam portion is very beautiful in this. The Jnanam portion is extraordinary beautiful, and he gives some practical upasana marga also. He gives some practical upasana marga also. Adan the Kaivalya Upanishad nude or beauty. See, Kena Upanishad, Isavasi Upanishad doesn't give any practical upasana marga. It says Isavasim idam sarvam yat kincha jagadyam jagat puri liye. Go and do karma for 100 years, mature and come back. Avladha. Adhikku mele he doesn't speak. Kena Upanishad says, if you think you have understood, you have not understood anything. That left and right, he goes with the words and makes the student go for a spin. Yeah. Mundaka Upanishad ellam vera. In Kaivalya, he is very compassionate. Kaivalya Guru is a compassionate Guru. So what he does, he talks about the highest Jnanam and he gives some practical methods also. Shatarudriya and all that he is going to talk. In the second part of the Kaivalya Upanishad, he will talk about the practical Upasana Marga also. Chant the Rudras, Shatarudriya for 100 times, do this. So he gives some specific instructions also. So I thought it is much more relevant to study the Kaivalya Upanishad. Seriya? With this, we get into the study of the Upanishad. Not today, next class. The next class, we will specifically go into the discussion of the Kaivalya Upanishad. Today, it is just a very, I won't say very basics, glorifying the Upanishad, which is against the tradition of Upanishad. It is against the tradition of Upanishads to glorify the Upanishad. And straight away get into the text. That is the Upanishadic tradition. But I thought it will not help us. So let us spend time in understanding the glory of the text, the beauty of the text, and then go into the text. With this, I conclude for today, and we take up the Kaivalya Upanishad, the proper Upanishad we enter. We intend to meet twice a week, Mondays and Thursdays. Thursday,
sir.
Monday and Thursday. Monday 7 o'clock, Thursday 7 o'clock. We intend to meet twice to discuss the Kaivalya Upanishad. Seriya? With this, we conclude for today.